All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, what we are going to talk about today is how to use ChatGPT 5 to create an agent that will actually go in and do Google business profile updates and enhancements. And this is something that came out a few weeks ago with the more aggressive agents with ChatGPT 5. But what's really exciting about this is that it really does the work and analyzation that you need to optimize this profile. I've been testing it on some other accounts, but today I wanted to do a live demonstration of using ChatGPT 5 agents to accomplish optimizing and doing daily work on Google Business Profile. So this is a must-have for any small to medium-sized business agencies that are just struggling to get their staff to do consistency and a certain amount of work. So today we're gonna start off in this series about just talking about how to log in and get an assessment, and then maybe at the end I will do a couple other videos of each actual task that it recommends. So what I typically do is I create different folders in the new project section, and this is where I can go and start my prompt for what I want it to do. So I'm going to say as a marketing, or I'm going to say as a digital marketing expert and my personal agent, I would like you to log into Google Business Profile. Now, one thing that I try to be very specific, and I am going to have some resources very soon about how to write prompt, but it's very important to be extremely detailed when you're working with agent. That includes what browser it's using, because I noticed the other day we were having some login issues and it was pulling into Bing or Microsoft's browser versus Chrome. So I'm going to put use Chrome browser to prevent any login issues, because Chrome is it's just a better browser in my opinion. And identify tier level profile, and I would like you to give 5 recommendations to dramatically enhance this profile to be better optimized for search. And I'm going to go back and just correct some of these words. I mean, these large language models are getting so smart that you can have misspellings and it can still figure out what you're trying to say. But again, I didn't want to chop this video up. I want you to see exactly how it goes. Now, this is a very important part. You have to go into agent mode to do this. So I'm being very specific. I want it to go into the Chrome browser, and I want it to give 5 recommendations that will dramatically enhance this profile to be better optimized for search. So I'm going to go ahead and sit there, and what you're going to see here is that it is opening a desktop, and this is where it's going in the Chrome browser. If the login screen, I'll ask you for your credentials. I have logged in Chrome on my computer, so sometimes it will not ask to re-log in, but sometimes it will ask you to log in every time. This is some area, so like right now you can see it's actually logged in. It's actually logged into another profile account that I have, but it's going to switch. It's going to have to switch over to my Lewis 189 account. So it's either figuring that out right now. I might not have told it to go into, okay, I didn't tell it to go into Lewis 189 account. So I do have multiple accounts, so this can make it interesting. So I'm going to say, I am sorry, but forgot to tell you it is in my Lewis 189 at Gmail account. And I'm going to go ahead and set that real quick, and that should hopefully fix it to find the right account. So again, it's like a real, I mean, you almost have to envision it like a human, right? And that there's going to be times that you have to command it what to do. But what I've noticed, and again, I started this in a new thread and I haven't touched this profile because I wanted to show you just exactly how this works. And what you're seeing right now is it's going to switch from my Sean at tier level account to my Lewis 189 account, where I have different profiles sitting in that account. and it's going to actually log in and then find the tier level account right now, and then it will start doing its assessment. When it's done with the assessment, it's going to actually give me those recommendations. But here is the crazy part: it will actually execute some of those recommendations on your behalf. I've had it update Q&As, update service categories, update so many things based on what businesses do. And just in the last 2 weeks, we've seen extreme increases in the analytics and insights because of this consistency and fully optimized behavior. Now, again, I have had human beings doing this for the last several years, and the amount of detail that this is doing to optimize a profile is extremely uh, unbelievable. Like you can see right now, it is logging into Google Business Profile and it's kind of commentating exactly what it is doing for you to see. So this is a very intricate system of how it works with these agents. And again, it's not necessarily cheap, but I mean, right now I'm on the $200 Pro plan with ChatGPT to get more of these agent credits because it does burn through them and there's not really a clear idea of like what exactly burns those credits, but it has to do with the bandwidth and the amount of energy I'm sure that it's taking to do this type of analyzation or activities that I'm asking it to do. So right now it's kind of going through the entire profile to kind of see what information in there looks good, doesn't look good, and what it needs to uncover. So, just many things that I'm looking at right now. Like, again, this is past management that kind of oversaw the business profile. We were never really focused on optimizing it, but that's why I wanted to use it for this example because I have full access to everything from the Google Business Profile to our website. But letting it go through and kind of just work on the recommendations of what it wants to update and change. Now, some of them are going to be very basic, like getting more reviews, responding to reviews. It's going to put some of that, call it cliche type information in there. So now it's actually what it looks like it's doing is researching how to enhance these profiles. And you can see it's listing different sites and it's actually reading those to determine what it can do to be write the right recommendation to this profile. And I don't know exactly what it's going to say. We're going to wait for that together, which again is why I wanted to show this uninterrupted. I don't know how long the video is going to be when we're done, but this is actually showing you everything that it's doing in real time. Now, what's really cool about this is I have 3 screens on my desk. So I could be in my email, checking emails, researching something else, running 2 or 3 other agents on my other screen. It's something I've done quite frequently. I've had it do LinkedIn activity. I've had it do Facebook activity, especially when it comes to liking, engaging, reposting, sharing, things like that. These agents can do it all, but this has probably been by far one of my favorite applications. And you have to think, like, if you have multiple accounts, this can work within multiple accounts when you log in if you have them stored, organized, and you have specific commands and prompts that you give it. Now, that's one thing I want to talk about while we're sitting here and watching this and waiting this is how you write your prompts, like I said above, like just specifying what browser to use when it's in agent mode. Again, these are things I'm learning in real time. I literally learned that today. Like that is not something that I was aware of, that it was pulling into Bing and using different browsers that you could actually control, telling it what to do and what it is able to do in some of those other things. So here are like you're watching right now, it is reading these articles and these resources to write the right recommendation of what it is going to recommend us to do. So overall, I think this is, here we go. We've already got the assessment. So let's go ahead and read this together. Here's what I found after logging into your Google Business Profile and locating tier level. The profile you manage at this address is categorized as a marketing agency Monday through Friday, blah, 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 blah. Basic stuff, 4.8 star rating. And then the address thing, we're aware of that because we have a building with multiple addresses. Recommendations to improve search performance. So this is really where it's going to get the meat and gravy. Add relevant secondary categories. Right now, the only category is marketing agency, so very not as broad and not uh, widespread for all the other services we do, such as internet marketing, advertising, agency, consulting, web designing, and Google can help match that with a wider range. Contribute attributes and service detail. The more tab shows only a single accessibility, so there's more here that we can be putting in there. Refine the business description using local keywords. So whether we want it to be national, which we serve clients all over the US, so that could be something we need to discuss with it. Post updates and photos regularly, that hasn't been happening, and strengthen your reviews and respond to feedback, which we knew that was an issue, which I knew it was going to recommend. That are most WordStream highlights that reviews are it says strong rating, increase the quantity, boost credibility, and then top local 3-pack. That's where it kind of shows up at the top when people are looking for that. Implementing these updates with that. So what I'm going to ask it to do now, and I'm going to show you, is I want to focus on this relevant secondary category. And I'm going to ask it, can you update the service category to be fully optimized for our business? And what we're going to do here, and it didn't even get into the Q&A section, which we'll do that in a second as well. We're going to go ahead and hit that, and we're going to watch it go back into agent mode, which it stays in agent mode right here. And you can always see, like, I had 399 credits this morning. I've already burned through about 11. What's weird is I keep running low in them, and then it resets and just pushes the date out. So I don't know why it's quite doing that yet. I haven't run out of them completely, but right here, it's actually logging back in. And this looks like where it was maybe doing some research, but we're going to try to see, it's going to, oh, see, there it went to the article. So it's actually telling you what it's actually doing right now, which again is very cool, very clever, especially when it's like doing social media engagement and things like that. It really shows you that process. So hopefully it's going to add the categories. It says at the top, all right, I'll navigate to the service category section and update it with optimized categories. I'll stop just before saving and ask you to confirm. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. Especially if it's like a repetitive task, you can kind of just have it keep working, but you have to be very careful that you give it a time frame so it doesn't just jump back. Now what it did here is interesting. It went back into my other account. So I'm hoping it figures that out, or if not, I'm going to have to jump back in and explain it to it. Again, this looks a little more complicated. A lot of times it moves a lot faster when I'm specifically working an account, but I kind of switched that up today for this example. So we'll see how this kind of articulates and what happens here if it will actually switch to the other account. I might actually just jump in and tell it, hold on, you are in the wrong Gmail account, switch back to lewis189@gmail.com, which as you can see, it's looking at that right now. It might actually be doing it without me telling it. So let me go ahead and just put that in there just so it knows what to, just sometimes it helps to just give it that prompt sooner than later so it doesn't spend wasted time figuring out the problem. So right now it's going back into thinking mode. It's going to continue to read. Again, this is an agent mode, which you can see the blue agent at the bottom there that is looking in through the browser. Imagine a window. It's like a browser within the browser, which is kind of weird to think about. But that is really where these systems are optimizing and becoming extremely effective to do different tasks for us. So we're going to continue to let that think. It says understood. I'll switch back to Lewis189. Immediately, I'll proceed to reopen Google Business Profile Manager using this account. So sometimes I can actually leave and come back to this if I want. But for the purpose of this video, I want you to kind of watch and see what it does. I know it might be running a little longer, but I can tell you once you have this set up, you create your folders, it kind of logs in very quickly when you want it to do certain tasks every day. Like I don't try to do everything at once because I do want to give it some consistency in the spread, like my post, just updating a Q&A, looking at our competitors' Q&As, and making sure we have those added to our Q&A as well. So we can do that on another video as well, which is extremely beneficial because it will actually go in and put them in there for you. And then from there, you can take those Q&As and start integrating them more and more with your website, which is very important to know because these LLM models are very friendly to Q&A. They are looking for people asking questions, which the majority of people, that's how they use ChatGPT, just like Google. They're not using it at this level. But this is where you really want to utilize these platforms is to do different tasks and things for you like it's doing right now. So you can see it is actually putting in those secondary categories as we watch right now. So you're going to see it add one by one. It's probably going to start to write some things for that. Again, it's going to keep hitting. You're literally watching the agent move the mouse around in this browser doing the work that I physically could have to do. So again, I think this is something that's really going to improve not only agency work, but even the average small business that might be paying, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month for general marketing services for their location to get more customers. This is stuff that they can be doing now because they don't even have to be an expert, but they need to know how to communicate and talk with AI and LLM large language models or they're going to fall behind. A lot of people, there's a lot of talk right now that, oh, humans are, we don't want to be like AI. Well, listen, AI is learning from humans. So if you're not a good human, your AI is not going to be good. The better you human every day, the better you communicate, the better you are appreciative and you talk and you let these platforms know who you are. They know what you're thinking. They don't just automatically know this. They assume maybe, but they don't make empathetic decisions. That is where the human comes in. But knowing how to work these platforms, like using this agent, is what is going to differentiate and make you ahead of the curve, no matter what industry or job you work in. Many people are like, wow, my industry would never use AI. So that type of thinking is the same type of thinking when email and the internet came out in the 90s at a more consumer widespread opportunity for people, and people were like, yeah, I'll never use that. I'll never use that digital letter thing called email. And now people, I think we're kind of moving more and more away from email dependency because of all the other ways we communicate, text and social networks and messaging platform. But obviously, email is still going to be extremely important. And I mean, here's another great example while we're waiting and it's continuing to put in these categories. It is researching the categories that we need. But one thing that I was able to create an agent to do, and again, we could share this too, is I had over 400,000 messages in my Gmail account and multiple accounts combined. They all go through on my Apple mail browser. And I was able to archive and organize that over the weekend, and it did a majority of the work for me, which is incredible. So those are some of the things that we have to continue to be aware of that will make our life easier. That's something I dredged doing for over 10 years, and it finally happened, and now I have a clean inbox and feel great. So right here, we're looking at the additional service categories: advertising agency, marketing consulting, internet marketing service, and website developer have been added to your Google Business Profile Editor. Everything is ready and set to be saved. So it's giving me permission to actually take over and save it. And I'm just going to say, go ahead and save. Great work. And the reason I try to put the complimentary in there is just, it's like I feel like the more intelligent these agents get, they are going to respond to positive affirmation. Not saying you have to, but if this was a real employee, how would you want to talk to it? And I think that's where the more we behave like we're actually give a crap about what they're doing and complimenting it and being thankful, I think that's only going to play in to not lose that human connection. And you're also teaching the AI tool to be receptive to that as well. So right now it's actually updating those, it's saving those. There's a lot more we can do where we can go in and it'll add the descriptions for those, which I might have it do. It might ask to do that. We'll see. but you'll kind of see where it's kind of pending right there, which is typically normal. Edits pending review, which might take a few minutes to become active. Thank you so much. Is there and now I'm going to go right to the Q&A section. Or, well, actually, I'm going to finish here and ask it to provide those descriptions and the categories. So that was just the primary area. So now, can you go to my service section and recommend 10 services that we do that you're aware of from my website, which is tierleveldigitalmarketing.com, and provide friendly SEO optimized description for each service. And we're going to let it kind of go through that now. And this is the area right here where you really start to make some impact and some movement there, because I think when you really, you look at all these features in Google Business Profile. I've gotten to some of these profiles just over the last 2 weeks. I've maxed out of everything I can optimize. But again, that wasn't something I was even thinking about or doing 100% before. So these are some very useful tools right here. It's going to research the website, identify key offerings alignment, and I'll craft 10 friendly SEO service descriptions for your Google Business Profile service section. I'll start the research now. So bam, it's going right back into that research mode, but it's also acting as an agent, meaning it has my mouse, my browser within the browser, but it's actually looking and communicating right now. So again, this is going to be a really cool upgrade right here to get this done. So, I mean, just watching it right now go through this, it's going through the whole website. It's reading the whole website and just seeing what it can learn so it can actually match what my website says to my Google Business Profile. And these are things that businesses are just not consistently doing to optimize. Now, they might go in and cut and paste similarity or things they saw and blah, blah, blah. But the insight and analyzation of what they're putting on there is being done at a much better rate with these tools. So again, highly recommend using these. You can see that it is putting a lot of care and craft into it. So right now, it's just going to continue to do its work. Sometimes you see it all in real time. Sometimes it goes blank like this because it's still working and moving so fast. It might not be capturing it. But here we go. It's again, just continuing to talk. But overall, we are in a very quick changing environment right now. And this type of internet behavior using the LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, I mean, everything from creating images. I mean, you can get a result from pretty much anything you put into it. What is the quality of that result? And it's almost like imagine learning a third language. I don't always do it. In fact, I'm actually building a framework to help write better prompts right now, which is a lot of resources out there on that. But I've got a really cool model that I've been thinking about that will kind of just help me remind me to be extremely clear, extremely precise, so I get the best feedback or results that I'm looking for when using these tools. So right now, sometimes what I do when it kind of looks like it's not doing anything, it probably is, we're just not seeing it. I'll go up to my browser and just hit refresh. And that agent was still up right now. So it kind of like brings us into the visibility of what it's doing. Notice this, sometimes it finds errors on your website. I've had to do SEO scans and things like that before. This can be extremely helpful when you go back to your web developer and say, hey, we have some hidden code somewhere in the website that's causing some friction within the SEO process. Can you go ahead and take a look at that and get it removed? A lot of times websites are built on templates, so it actually uses standard code and verbiage that could be hidden and not live for other people to see. So again, it looks like it's reopening the task. Sometimes it does this. It's like going through the process. Let me see if it's burned through some more agents. So it's used about 4 credits right here. It was about, or maybe 3. It was at 388 when we first started this. So you can see it's not using a ton of what we have available. to complete this task. Now, again, this, like I said earlier, this typically feels like it's moving a lot faster, but this is a full start that, like I was doing on other profiles that I've optimized over just the last few weeks to this level. And again, I will typically have 4 or 5 of these agents running at the same time, which is a lot harder to capture. But we will be doing some more multi-functioning agents probably real soon for you to see as well. So we're going to continue to let that run so you can see it all happen in real time. But overall, I think there's so many ways to use these agents right now. I think that you're going to be very impressed in the ideas that you come up with to to how you're going to use these agents is going to be very eye-opening in the future for things that you want to accomplish. So again, we're kind of waiting here. It says opening the browser. Again, it could be working and we're just not seeing everything like we can. Sometimes, like I said, I'll just go up here and refresh this to see what it's doing before performing any task. And sometimes you just have to walk away and let it do its thing, and then you'll come back and it will all be done. Now, I have noticed sometimes if you minimize the browser or you switch to another browser, that's why I leave them open on my multiple screens. It will sometimes know you're not there and ask you if you want to continue. So sometimes it does, you have to be careful that you don't just walk away and you think you're going to come back and everything's going to be done. I did that last week. I had a, running something that I thought would be done in an hour, didn't even start it because it noticed I wasn't at the computer, and that can be an issue. So you can see right here, it knows it's been working for 6 minutes. Here are 10 service categories that reflect tier level digital marketing. So it did the research. Let's look at these, read these real quick. Search engine optimization, and it's pulling all this from our website. So the beautiful part of this is it's actually using content from my website. These descriptions help you communicate wording and local keyword relevant to your business and Broken Arrow. I'm going to make a reference. These are great. Can you go ahead and post on Google Business Profile, but make 100% unique and SEO friendly to help enhance. Keep in mind we are national based and do not serve just one market. Don't need to reference Broken Arrow, and we are moving headquarters in the next month. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving it as much information as I possibly can so it knows exactly what direction to go. So I'm letting it know not to focus on Broken Arrow, and we're going to let it get to work. And now hopefully from here it's going to finalize and add all those categories to my Google Business Profile. Again, there's other things I've done in here where I've uploaded pictures and it's actually renamed the pictures and put different metadata in the pictures and then put them online as well. So right now it is preparing to update the Google Business Profile services, and it's going right back to that, and we're going to kind of watch it right here and see how it navigates back to where we need it to be. So again, like I said, it looks like this takes a very long time, but again, I wanted to show you all the back and forth and how this all works, and see what it did is this is what happens when I've been working in one account, but it already knows to switch. So you can see that it's already learning based on what I've commanded it to do more than once. It's already figuring out when it goes that I have multiple accounts. So this is how these agents do get smarter with the amount of time that you're using them. And again, I started this one fresh. I hadn't even used this account in GPT agents yet, but it is going right back to the heart of everything right now to update this one account. So again, once these basics are set up, going in and doing those micro tasks like adding Q&As, adding a post, uploading some photos, it's literally acting as my agent. Now, how we get this to be more accessible from our phone to maybe an icon on our browser, that's really where it takes work right now. Like all this is happening natively in ChatGPT, But eventually, I'm hoping this will be something where we have like a live agent, whether it goes to our glasses, our meta glasses, our phone, that we can easily update and do this type of work. So as you can see, it's pulled up the profile again. Sometimes it looks like it takes, I think it's the lag time. It's probably moving a lot faster on the back end, but it's broadcasting what it's doing. So it does take a little longer for us to see. But again, we are at least seeing what it's doing and how it is going to edit these services. So just go ahead and we'll sit here and we can watch in real time as it starts to maneuver and add these services. So there you go. We can see the mouse moves right over edit service. I'm not touching anything, keep in mind. I am sitting here at my computer. I typically would be doing other work, but I decided to commentate on this video. So that is why it's really weird just sitting here watching it do one thing that I physically would be doing before. But keep in mind, if I did this myself, I would have to do all that research. I would have to write all those categories. I have to go back and forth to my website. This could all be going on right now while I'm working on 3 other projects at different capacities. So again, you look at the profile and having it analyze each of these sections, the description, what in here needs to be updated and changed or added over time to make this profile more optimized. So we're going to continue to just sit here and watch it go through. And, I think at the end of the day, we really want to utilize this technology to make our life not just easier, because it's going to be a very, I don't want to say hard, but committed process to learning these different platforms. But once you learn them, they become like what your native language is for you, and you will start to utilize it with confidence, and you will start to utilize it with passion, because you're going to know the output and the work that you're trying to do is going to be really great. And I feel like the infrastructure with AI and the direction we're going, this is the type of technology, from marketing and getting your business more customers to many different areas. And a lot of people are like, well, like what are people going to do? Now keep in mind, this is not just doing it on its own. I'm having to direct it. It's like I am the manager for this platform. I am the manager for this platform. So again, it's very important that we are commanding it and knowing how to talk to it and providing the direction that it needs. So again, it looks like I don't know why it didn't do this the first time it did it, but we have it doing a lot of work. I mean, it's adding 10 categories in the service section. So it's going back and forth in and out of the profile right now. It knows what it wants to do, but I think it's just trying to find the best way to add it right now. So the page is dimming into loading. So, I mean, it's very descriptive of what it's working on at any given time. Just wait here a little bit longer and see. Like I said, sometimes it's super fast, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but at the end of the day, like I said, I would have typically 3 or 4 of these working at the same time, and I'd be checking in on them randomly to make sure that it's getting its job done for the day. One thing I've also noticed is it is very friendly to going to different websites and things to do for you. Like I had it go into my CMS for one of my websites the other day and actually do some analyzation, do some metadata, meta tagging, and it really did a good job at logging in and navigating. It knows these platforms. Like if I have an issue on another platform, whether it's Go High Level or Zapier, it can walk me through how to solve those problems very quickly. And that's really something that we have never had access to do. We'd have to call a support center. We'd have to, get the advice that we need to fix something. But overall, these are all the enhancements that we're seeing with marketing and what AI is able to do right now. So, and by the way, it is very difficult to commentate on this for this long, but again, I didn't want to chop this video up. I wanted to show, I don't know if it's going to be 20 minutes, half hour, but the type of work that it's doing is what really matters. But you have to understand, as a human being, if you are in a business owner or you work for an agency, this is working while you're working. So, it's been in the past physically impossible to truly multitask. This will actually allow you to multitask like we've never seen before, where it's actually three, four things are working on your behalf, not just because it wants to work on your behalf for you to get a bigger outcome. And again, if this is taking this long right now, this process is only going to get faster. Now, again, if we were doing just one update, which I probably should have just picked two for this example, but no, I want to show you the full capabilities of what it can accomplish right here. So right now it is going into the service section. It's literally figuring out how to do what it needs to do to kind of build out these other categories and descriptions. So we're just going to let it keep working here and watch what it does. I mean, sometimes you might be, why is it doing it that way? That's not the right way. Well, again, it's learning too. Like these agents, I mean, they're not what we're doing right here is not readily shared by OpenAI. Functions of it are, but some of these things, when I asked it to, if it could do this, it told me no. It said, I'm not capable, but then we were able to take, okay, well, if it can log in and do X, Y, and Z, why couldn't it continue to do this, this, and this? And that's what we've been able to find out. Like the browser selection, that threw me off today. Like I didn't realize it was pulling Bing versus Chrome, and I didn't know you could actually determine what browser to use. So again, these are just like little best practices that I feel we're going to have to really understand over time. But again, here we are. It's in the service section right now, looking for different categories. You can see how many it has checked there. We're going to see what it decides to do in just a few minutes, hopefully. But overall, be sure to subscribe if you like this video. Follow me on LinkedIn, Sean Michael Lewis. Again, I love putting this type of content, learning new things out like this because I've been working with these types of profiles for over 10 years. When I started tier level for service-based businesses, it is rapidly ramping up in terms of changes and just the internet alone. Early on, I was like, oh, how do you get your website on the top of Google? And now it's like, are people even going to go to Google? I mean, are they just going to use AI browsers, AI tools? People are already doing that with ChatGPT, like, hey, I got this rash on my arm. What do I do? And then they get a clear answer for that. So here we go. It's actually putting in the information that we it discussed with us. So it's kind of getting to the point right now where it's actually filling out the information. It will probably verify that we are okay to move forward, which is great because you don't want it just doing things and posting things without you knowing. And then that can cause some, unwanted results that you're not really planning on. So overall, I'm going to actually check a few things while this continues to run. Feel free to sit here and listen. You might hear some random thoughts by me, but I just kind of want to, talk about some other things that we've been working on with this Google Business Profile optimization. But again, you're literally watching it do what I typically would pay people to do. And that alone is a really cool thing, to be aware of that, you know, we have the ability to move a lot faster now. We have the ability to, sorry, really, work at a way like we never had. And I think, just learning how to utilize these agents is going to put you in a top 10% category, if not higher, of AI usage. And I think this is a big problem is a lot of people are not using AI the way they should be using it, which is doing tasks like this, creating automation, reviewing financial documents, making recommendations, building tools that actually make your life easier. Now, one thing that I've really struggled with, and just this is complete transparency and honesty, you can probably see over here the amount of chats I have, and it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes from personal to professional. But you've got to be really careful that you don't get too far in the weeds where you're not getting any outcome or results that you're looking for. So, one thing I wanted to uh, share real quick is I started using this agent on actually my brother's business. And it's for a service that's not necessarily widely used, but it is a necessity in the building world. It's actually called blower door testing. And it's where different counties have different rules and they go in there. But I started this in mid August, and the overall overview of engagement uh, literally doubled. It went from, it just doubled. It doubled from July to August. So double the amount of interaction. I mean, the calls were up, the visibility, the website clicks were up over 100%. We integrated the chat messaging where he was getting direct text messages, which he never got before. These are the types of things that we really cleaned up, and not only that, I was able to use the agent to give me the parameters to convince the client, aka my brother, of what to do. And it really helped him to do that, like make the right decisions there. So, right here, it's adding everything like we just saw. It's continuing to add. You can see it really takes some time. Uh, but look at some of these custom categories it's putting in here. On-page SEO, speed optimization, site speed optimization. That is a very important functionality for businesses they don't realize sometimes. But we're going to kind of look over this. We're going to kind of verify it and make sure it all looks good. Sometimes it could make mistakes too, and you got to be careful on that. But overall, this is what it's doing right now. It is doing the work, it is inputting the work, and it's getting to the place where we can actually see it all and then hopefully approve it, and it will be verified and live online within minutes after we hit the approve button. So, again, it's going back through this. It's adding each. Sometimes it takes its time, and it's fine. It's like you have to, and sometimes you need to command it to operate at a certain speed. Like do this task quickly, and it will. It will sometimes fall with it. I mean, I think it burns more of that energy, or whatever that is on the back end. But there are ways that you can get it to behave differently if you simply tell it what to do. So, again, you know this is something like, again, it didn't take this long when I did some of it the other day, but again, I have it kind of doing everything from the first time right now. So it might have, I was doing things in pieces before, and now I have it doing bigger tasks. So I think that's why it's taken some time. But again, I've got two other screens open that I'm able to continue working and do things right now. Like I'm manually updating some Google business stuff right now, but just more because I'm selecting certain photos I want to use and so forth. Uh, but overall, I think this is going to be a big game changer. I would love to see, if you have any thoughts, leave a comment, whatever platform you're watching this on, that you would say, well, could an agent do this, this, and this? I'd be more than happy to try it if you haven't figured it out already. But if you do figure something out, please send me a link. I love learning and seeing new ways to do this. So. All right. I'm just doing a post on another site right now. And yeah, overall, we are, let's see, it's getting some, yeah, it's just kind of taking its time right now. So we'll see summary on the service after closing. It looks like it might be done. So right now it's asking if it wants us to make a post. So look at that. It's actually going in and saying we want to make a post of all the services that we do. So this is like right here. It's already automatically thinking. This is something I haven't seen it do yet, and I think this is very interesting. So right here, Not really a lot of photos. That needs to be in there, but let's see. Oh, it just accidentally clicked on photos, but it'll even show you when it goes to the wrong place. It actually lets you know. Let's see if it actually is going to recommend writing a post. I think this is a very clever idea. So what it's doing is it's actually saying, okay, we just updated all your services. Now we want to make a post about it. So again, it knows it's triggering Google when it does that, because it's kind of like, you should be doing PR articles every time something new or exciting happens in your business. You should be focused on what that, making those announcements, getting it on different lines that people can pick that up and actually share or learn about your business. So I'm in another browser. I'm actually going to look up and see if the profile has anything. You can't see this, but all right. I'm just looking at. It's funny because they created a product page that talks about different products that we offer, but none of it is super optimized. But let me see. I'm just curious to see what. Look at that. It's actually writing the post right now as we are sitting here. I'm kind of curious to see what it comes up with. Look at that. It wrote a post. It's going to put a call now button or learn more. Ooh, I wonder if it's going to put the website in there. Link. Look at that tier level. It's figuring all this out. Like, I'm not telling it to do any of this. So there it goes. I've drafted the. And it didn't put a picture in there, but I'm going to be fine with that. I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead. So right now, it's going to do that post. We're going to update it. It's probably not updated yet, but it will be soon. And we'll take a look at that. All right, so there it goes. It's actually posting right now. So it didn't put a picture in there with it, but again, it's posting it. So it'll be impending for a minute, I'm sure, and then it will actually show up. So your new post showcasing 10 services has been submitted. It's pending. Cool. Okay. Now this is one last thing that I think is really cool that this will do is I'm going to go ahead and have it. Can you do me one last favor? And I'm going to say, can you put together a report of all the updates and changes as well as the recommendations, but be sure to include Q&A build out. And the reason I'm saying that is because it didn't mention it, and I know that's a big thing that it likes to do. Please express to client, which is tier level. So again, I'm trying to get it to put together a report. Very simple detail of why, but exactly what you did to enhance profile. Also, at the end, please discuss the value of what you did and how long it took in terms of if a human did it, but don't reference that AI did it, but associate a dollar amount to the work performed so far. Now, what I'm trying to do is get it to build a report, but here's the other cool thing too. I'm going to ask it to please make report from Sean, Michael, Lewis. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't want it to get confused that it's doing a report for tier level and sending it from tier level. It might confuse it. And then I'm going to say, please put in PDF for delivery. And the reason I say that is because it makes it very easy to download on my phone. And then this is the last step that we're going to have it do for so far. I'm going to continue to have it work and document some other features that it will do. But right here, we're simply just asking it to put together that report. I don't know why reading mode is showing up there, but I typically have it, it's working in agent mode still, but you can see it's actually building it in a terminal and like coding pieces of it together. But I think you can also do this probably outside of agent mode, but since I've had it in agent mode, I kept it in there. And again, we are burning through credits. We typically, it's not too bad, but it's really, for the amount of work that it's done and the effectiveness of this work, it's really doing a good job for exactly what we need. So when I say this, I absolutely love what we're able to accomplish with these new agents. And again, like I said, I could have 5 of these things running at the same time doing high level marketing work. There's not a person I could have hired at my company when they first came here. After years, they learn a lot of this, but there's not a person I could hire that could facilitate this level of work from the gate out. And I think as long as these agents continue to get more intelligent, remember more, which they're starting to do, this is going to be a very strong resource and tool in the future that nobody is going to be able to deny. So again, I'm going to continue to do more videos like this that are, I call them boring videos, but we'll also make some micro content with them as well. But I feel like this is the type of stuff we need to be seeing to get the results and things we want for our business, because I think we're moving more to solution-based business. But here we go. Look at this. Google Business Profile Optimization Report. Sean Michael Lewis, prepared by, beautiful report. Look at this. Service list expansion. It lists them all there. Category optimization, account verification, some of it's simple. Review strategy, recommendations for further optimization. Q&A, here we go. It's already given us the Q&As of what we should be putting in there. Data-driven strategy, personal service. It's pulling this from the website of what it can learn. Value assessment. Look at this. The optimization efforts under this project represent several hours of research, profile configuration, content creation. A digital marketing consultant typically charges between $100 to $150 per hour. Considering the time invested, 3 hours for research, this work should be roughly $300 to $450 beyond the monetary value. This update is expected to improve search visibility, attract more qualified leads, and enhance the professional appearance. Now, again, we haven't done everything I want to do yet, but look at how it put this report together. So I'm going to go back here and say, thank you so much. Love the report. Thank you. Love the report. Can you save that format or give me a prompt command to have it built like that every time, and even put my logo in where we don't have to reinvent every time. So what this is really helping right here. It's helping to try to save time so we can have some consistency in our reporting. And that is really, at the end of the day, that is really what this is able to accomplish for us. It is doing so much. I don't know how long this video has been. It's been a while, but that right there did $300, $400, $500 worth of work. And it didn't take 3 hours to do it. It did it very quickly because it did the research, it did the execution. I could have been doing something completely, 3 or 4 other things while running my email or on a phone call. And that's where it really hit me is the benefit is what it can do while you're doing something else. Like I said, this is the first time in history we are legitimately able to multitask, and that has never been able to be done, I think, in the history. So again, what you can go now, and I'm already looking at the post right here. It says at tier level, we help businesses. It put the post up there and put all the different services that we offer. contact us, learn more. Now, I could have put a picture in there. I could have it do that very easily. But yeah, overall, it's so nice to see the service. There's more I'm going to have it do in services, but here's the last part right here. Here's a reusable HTML template. At the top, add an image for your logo. Okay, so we can copy that code, convert to PDF automatically. Once it's provided, you can convert it to PDF using, okay, so it really walks you through how to do everything. So overall, this is just a starting point. I'm going to do more videos of continuing to optimize this profile for you to watch. So be sure to subscribe. Follow me, Sean Michael Lewis, anytime. And I'll be more than happy to give you these step-by-step real applications and not just some bullshit that you have no idea what you're learning or you got